Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a look at another Tag Team GX. This is coming out in Full Metal Wall. Just the other day, we had a nice little look at Lucario and Melmetal Tag Team GX. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it is the turn of Buzzwole and Pheromosa. And the first thing that strikes me as rather weird, it is a grass-type Tag Team GX. Now, this goes against my prediction, because I assumed it was going to be a fighting type, since we'd already had Celebi and Venusaur as a grass type, and we've not had a fighting type Tag Team GX yet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was not correct about that. Boo, hiss, etc. Of course, being a grass type means you are hitting weakness on stuff like Lycanroc. It means you can take advantage of Lurantis to do a little bit of extra damage, which may well be relevant for some of the attacks, as we are going to see in a moment. It means that you can use Life Forest, Prism Star, or indeed the Shaman from Lost Thunder in order to actually heal just a little bit of damage here and there. You do have 260 HP, which is extremely high, but it's a Tag Team GX. Retreat cost of 2 is kind of annoying, and weakness to fire is an issue because of Blacephalon. Blacephalon is a very, very good Pokemon. Plus, Celebi and Venusaur is doing really, really well in Japan, and that means that gives people more incentive to play Blacephalon, which is kind of terrifying if you're playing Buzzwole and Pheromosa. But what does it actually do? Well, our translation here comes from the lovely David Hochmann over at RappelmannTCG. And what it does, for 1 grass energy, it's literally Jet Punch. 30 to the active, 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It is literally the attack of Buzzwole GX. 30 to the active, 30 to the bench. Now, there are a couple of things that make this different from the old Jet Punch. First of all, you don't get to use Diancie Prism Star because you are a grass Pokemon. You are not a fighting Pokemon. Incidentally, it gives you a worse weakness at the moment and probably a worse typing, so it's actually kind of annoying because you're also not hitting Zoroark GX for weakness. You do, however, get to use the Promo Lurantis. Now, the Promo Lurantis is basically Diancie Prism Star. It's just a stage 1. If you can get, say, 2 of these out, you're doing 70 to the active, 30 to the bench. That is really, really nice. That I am all in favour of. The issue we find here is that it's not always that easy to get multiple Lurantis out. It is Jet Punch. Jet Punch is a good attack. This is a good attack. But you lose the weakness hitting against something like Zoroark. And you lose Diancie Prism Star. It's not ideal. Now, you gain Lurantis, and it does mean you're hitting weakness against stuff like Rockruff. Now, there is a 70 HP Rockruff, and there is a 60 HP Rockruff. And essentially, if your opponent is trying to take advantage of Professor Round's lecture, they'll be playing the 60 HP one, you'll get a one-hit KO. And if they're trying to go for the extra HP, they'll play the 70 HP one, and you won't get a KO. This is the same attack we've had all along. It's pretty good. It's great for setting up multiple KOs. It's good for 2-hit KOing 2 evolving basics. Think something like Zorua. It's a nice setup attack. If you can get multiple Lurantis and a Choice Band down, then it could be a really good attack. I mean, Choice Band and 2 Lurantis, you're getting a 1-hit KO on Lycanroc. But it's more of a spread damage in the early game, set up KOs kind of attack. And the second attack should look extremely familiar to Buzzwole as well. Once again, we're doing free energy, grass, colourless this time, and you're doing 190 damage. But during your next turn, this attack does 60 damage rather than 190. This is nice. This is a nice amount of damage. 190 is already enough to KO something like a Buzzwole GX. If you had a choice band, you're up to 220, which on the one hand means you're getting stuff like Zoroark, but on the other hand it means you're not getting stuff like Gardevoir. You will be 10 damage short. Now, given that you're a GX that gives up free prizes, you probably shouldn't be using Shrine of Punishment, but you can be using Lurantis here, and I mentioned this right at the beginning of the video. Lurantis is good, because Lurantis allows you to hit numbers. There are a few numbers that you're not hitting without Lurantis, which are fairly key, that you will then hit if you add a Lurantis. Now, there are a couple of other things we need to mention which are particularly pertinent to this. You see, this is an Ultra Beast Pokemon, which means that first of all you can use Beast Energy to do an extra 30 damage, which will of course really help you out with the first attack, and it will help you out with this second attack, because if you're using a Beast Energy and a Choice Band, then all of a sudden you're up to 250. 250 is an absolutely crucial number, because that is essentially as high as GXs go. Something like an Incineroar GX will just be one hit KO'd by this. Even Tag Team GXs, you're getting a bunch of those. Not all of them, but you're getting a bunch of those like the phenomenal Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX. So it's only once per game, the Beast Energy, because you play it and it's vulnerable to Enhanced Hammer, and when it's gone you can't get it back. But if you have this, then you're in a great position whereby you're hitting a huge amount of Pokemon, and it really is just a couple Tag Team GXs you're missing. Now, I could mention Ultra Space to search this out, but it's not terribly relevant. Although I should mention you can actually have Netball here, because Netball will let you search for a basic grass Pokemon or basic grass energy. And being a Tag Team GX, this is a basic grass Pokemon. But what I'm thinking more like is Beastring. Beastring here, when your opponent has 3 or 4 prizes remaining, you can search your deck for 2 basic energy and attach them to this Pokemon. That, ladies and gentlemen, I am very much in favour of. This is something which is going to make this second attack phenomenal, because now it's just Beastring energy attachment for the turn, you're hitting 190. Every time you hit a Beastring, that essentially sets it up as a single energy attack, and that is absolutely ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you've got the odd Pokemon like Eevee and Snorlax Tag Team GX that you're not one-hit KOing here, but other than that, you're basically getting everything. The other one is Celebi and Venusaur, which will be out of range. Even Magikarp and Wailord is weak to grass, so you'll be getting a one-hit KO on that. So with a Beast Energy and a Choice Band, the only things you're not one-hitting are Celebi and Venusaur, and Eevee and Snorlax. It is a really nice attack. The first attack is a little bit underpowered on a Pokemon that gives up free prizes, but then again, you could use that to bring 2 Celebi and Venusaur into one-hit KO range, and then you can just be hitting ridiculous damage as soon as you hit that Beastring. But while we're talking ridiculous, the most ridiculous thing about this Pokemon is the GX attack. 1 grass energy, 50 damage, meh. If you knock a Pokemon out with this attack, take 1 additional prize card. That in and of itself is a great GX attack. Knock out a Rockruff, 100. So you get to take 2 prizes off a Rockruff. Add a Choice Band and a Beastring, you're up to 110. With weakness, that's 220. KO a Lycanroc, 3 prizes. But if you've got 7 additional energy, that's 8 in total, attached to this Pokemon, and you take a KO, you get to take 3 extra prize cards. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. 6 prize cards in 1 turn if you KO a Tag Team GX. Now, here's the thing. You're only doing 50 damage. So with a Choice Band and a Beast Energy and Weakness, you can be hitting 220. That's not enough to KO Magikarp and Wailord. Although you can add a Lurantis or 2, and then you will be up there. But essentially, you just do some attacks in the early game. Use a Latios from Shining Legends or a Tapu Koko from Shining Legends. Spread a whole bunch, not from Shining Legends, it's a promo. Spread a whole bunch of damage around and then just win with this attack. It's awkward because you're only hitting 50 damage, but let's be clear about this. It is a phenomenal attack, which does a phenomenal amount of damage, and can win you the game in one go. You're only doing 50 damage, but with Lurantis, Beast Ring, and Choice Band, you can beef that up quite nicely. Don't use Shrine of Punishment, because Shrine of Punishment takes the KO, not the attack. That would be a very silly thing to do. And then if you can set up an attack with this and KO a Tag Team GX, you literally just win the game there and then. You just attack and win the game. Now, the 8 energy is awkward, but it's any energy, so it's whatever you like. Now, Beast Ring, you can use here. Wait till your opponent's taken a couple of prizes, go nuts with Beast Ring. Remember, you can use Alolan Ninetales to search the Beast Ring out, or at least 2 of them out fairly easily. So Alolan Ninetales will work very nicely here to search out your Beast Ring. You could use something like Malamar, but you need 8 energy, and it's probably actually going to be just a little bit too slow, unfortunately. But anything along the lines of Magnezone, either of them, which can attach multiple energies per turn, if you can get enough energies in hand, you could potentially attach 7 extra energy and go for it. To the point that if I'm playing one of these Magnezone decks, I'm putting a Grass Energy or maybe even a Rainbow Energy into my deck, because you only need 1 Grass Energy to use this attack, and then you can use it in whichever deck you gosh darn well feel like. So I think this could be teched into a deck like that rather nicely, and then you can really take advantage of this nicely. The thing I really want to stress with this attack, as much as you could use it to KO a Tag Team GX, and you could tech it into a whole bunch of other decks, the fact of the matter is that this is probably going to be better, and I haven't often said this about Tag Team GX attacks, just as a single energy attack. Because single energy, 50 damage, take an extra prize card, that's really good. It's kind of like Blacephalon's GX attack or Kartana's GX attack, except both of those don't actually KO a Pokemon, so they don't improve your board state relative to your opponents. Whereas this absolutely does improve your board state, so it makes you better off in the long run. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a spectacular advantage. And make no mistake about it, this is a phenomenal card. The fact that you can use Beast Ring to accelerate energy is ridiculous. The first attack is fine for spreading damage. The main attack with Beast Ring is absolutely great. You should be one-hit KOing the vast majority of things, all non-GXs, the vast majority of GXs, and even a few Tag Team GXs. And then the GX attack here, you can take 6 prizes in one turn, and it is possible, but the 8 energy and the fact that it does 50 damage will slow you down. Having said that, just KO a littler Pokemon. Use a Beast Energy to put this up to 80 damage, and then take 2 prizes off a non-GX. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? This is pretty gosh darned ridiculous. It's a 5 Wassy card. I feel pretty strongly about this. All the Tag Team GXs have been good so far. They've all been confirmed to be good, and this is no exception. And it's an Ultra Beast, so you get the Ultra Beast tricks. But ladies and gentlemen, I would very much like to know what you think about this particular card, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the most important rule as always. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we're talking Transformers Wave 2 spoilers and Keyforge organised play. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.